coming to dinner? Coming to dinner. Hello, Louisville. Guess who's coming to dinner? Happy Monday. Welcome to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. I hope everyone had a beautiful Resurrection Sunday yesterday and a beautiful weekend. I know the kids were glad that probably to get out and finally have a real live Easter egg hunt. Just wanted to say that we need a little sunshine. We need a little brightness in our life. And yesterday, the actual message about the resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is about as much light as we're going to get. Okay? So we're going to have to run with that one. And that's what we should run with every day anyway. I am your host, Janice Carter Miller, and welcome to Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Today we're going to, if you see, I don't know if you can see, but I've got my DST garb on because I was supposed to wear it at my Deltaversary last year at Kentucky State, but I went to dinner and there was a whole lot of hugging and kissing going on, and I changed my mind about going to homecoming because I said it was too many people for me to be hugging and kissing. So this is the first time I got to wear my little Delta garb. So I didn't have any green and gold because today is definitely a Kentucky State University Day. You know what I'm saying? Thoroughbreds are in the house. And the thoroughbred in the house today, our special guest is the president, Mr. Barry Johnson of the Kentucky State Alumni Louisville Chapter Association. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much, Alum Miller. It's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here.
I'm glad to have you. I know you're the spark plug that's keeping us connected to what's going on up on the hill.
Well, we're trying. We're definitely trying. Definitely.
But I want you to tell me one something. What made you decide to go to Kentucky State in the first place?
Well, I'm gonna get to that, but real brief. In your intro, there's a couple things I want to unpack. Okay. And the first is Resurrection Sunday. So definitely your point about shining that light. It was our opportunity, our first in-person time back for Easter, in person for service. Oh,
absolutely.
It was joyous to be in the house, to say the least. And then secondly, the hugging and kissing at homecoming last year. It was definitely, well, we went, my wife and I went, but it was a little not as comfortable as it usually is. So just those two things. I'll get back to your regularly scheduled questions, but I had to address those 2 points.
Well, I'm glad to know that because I just, and this was with my sorority sisters, and I said, now, if I'm feeling uncomfortable, and it was only 8 of us, right? I said, right. I know far too many people to be trying to say, well, I'm going to hug him and not her, and I'm going to hug.
It doesn't happen. It's homecoming. I mean, you cannot go to homecoming and not hug and hello and good to see you.
Absolutely. No, you can't.
So, anyway.
So I decided the best thing for me to do was just not to go.
To participate.
So I didn't go to the game. I just went to the dinner that we had to celebrate our Deltaversary. And this year is another big year for me.
Okay.
It's 50 years.
Yes, 70, yes. Well, ironically, I'm working with alum James Atkins on the T-shirt design.
Oh,
so I'm working with him and the committee on that. So definitely early congratulations on your golden anniversary.
Definitely. Look, I'm starting to save my money. I see the school ask for so much money from everybody, so I've got an account set aside for Kentucky State University.
You got to start early. You got to
Yeah,
start
yeah.
early.
I'm starting early, so when I get there and they say, I'll say, "Well, I've got mine. I don't know who else has theirs, but I've got mine."
Right, right. Well, back to
So,
your original question, why Kentucky State University? Well, um, quite simply, so my dad was a professor there. He was the
okay,
band director. He was actually band
okay,
director there two different times. The first time I want to say was 81,
okay.
and he was there for a year, and then took a job at Savannah State. He was band director down at Savannah State, and then he came back in 1989.
Okay.
And so my freshman year at Kentucky State was 1990. So I had applied and thought about some different schools, but really just kind of it was kind of out of the blue. He was like, "You think about coming up to Kentucky State?" Because I was in the band in high school, so I
Right.
played the drums. I played tennis in high school, so I was able to be in the band with
Okay.
him. So that's really what got me to Kentucky State.
Wow. And your experience, tell me about it. Tell me what it was like for you to be up on that hill.
Well, everyone. I think everyone takes away different experiences, from their school, especially HBCU. But I think the biggest thing for me, and it may be very similar for other alums, is just the relationships. I mean, as I catalog today, 20 plus years later, outside of kind of a handful of folks who were friends, maybe through work or something like that, everyone else are K-State alums.
Okay.
And it's been consistent for 20, like I said, 20 plus years. So it's been, I met my wife there.
Oh,
We
okay.
just celebrated, 20, 25 years this past July. So, that connection is there. And, I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and my line brothers, all but two, married their college sweethearts.
That's
So, that
beautiful.
connection is just it's lifelong. I mean, there's no other really way to
It just
explain it.
kind of set up the foundation for the rest of your life. Kind of, sort of, would you
Well,
say?
absolutely, that's a great way to describe it. My middle son is a student there. We tried on our oldest, but he was dead set on another school, and couldn't quite talk him out of that. But our middle son is a student there. My wife's grandmother is from Frankfurt,
Okay.
so she worked at the school. Had some cousins, so there's been a connection with the hill, so to speak, in many forms over the years. And so Kentucky State, and by proxy Frankfurt, is just going to be a part of our life for the rest of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just it's one of my benchmarks in
Right.
life. I've set up different benchmarks. If it's not as tough as my 4 years at Kentucky State, or my 5 years living in Paris, or now I'm going on 12 being married.
All
These are my
right. All
benchmarks.
right. Those are your benchmarks. Yes, ma'am.
So I've got to say, if I'm not going to do it, if it doesn't measure up to those types
Hmm.
of events in my life.
Yes, ma'am.
And so becoming the president of the Alumni Association. So what drew you to that?
Well, with the local chapter, it was just really a matter of starting uh, starting to go to the meetings. It was just kind of that simple. Really was. It kind of happened organically. There was
Mhm.
a Dr. Anthony Rimpson. You may know him or may not, but he I want to say he's a 81 graduate, maybe a
Okay.
little bit before that. But anyway, he's a physician here in town, and he's been very active with. He used to be on the board of regents and very active locally within our alumni association here in Louisville. And several years ago, yeah, and I see him as he's one of my, or was one of my customers for work. And he would always say, you need to come over and, get active and be a part of the association. And I was, okay, I will. And didn't,
Right.
for several years. And just, just like with anything, you just keep
Putting it
putting that
off.
grease, yeah, putting that grease on there, oil on that wheel, oil on that wheel. And my wife and I went to our first meeting we went to, and it was just like I said, just that simple. We went, you kind of get, once you are involved at the local chapter, you do get an understanding of kind of how things are going, not only locally, but at the national level.
Right.
And it's just, having that insight and getting to understand of what's going on. What are some of the challenges? What are some of the ways that the Alumni Association helps students, the ways that helps the university. And so from there, that's where it started. So that was, like I said, about 5 years ago. And general member, I was helping run for best I could anyway, run the social media
Okay.
part of it. Very, like I said, it was very bare bones, but from then, and our chapter president at the time was Wanda Carson, one of your sorors.
Yes.
And so being able to learn, the functions of the chapter at her feet, so to speak, I became vice president, and this has been my first year as president. So
wow. Well, congratulations on that move.
Well, thank you. And it with anything in a group setting organization, it's never one person. I mean, you know that.
No, it's everybody,
it's
and you
everybody.
got some really good people.
Yes,
around
we do. Yes, we do.
And I can say, I must admit now, I used to be active when I first moved back to Louisville, and then I had to become my mother's caregiver. And meetings, I had to stop even singing. I just
oh wow, yeah.
I only had time to take care of my mother.
Absolutely, yeah. It's full time. Yeah, absolutely. Full-time
so it's about time for me to become active again. And
we don't put too
I'm
much
ready for that.
Open arms.
I'm ready for that. Now I know that. Tell me, there's some things that I'm sure that you want to do that you see in the future of how we can grow the association, how we can, after COVID, we need to go out and grab folks and bring them back.
Right. And that's been, the thing about the local chapter, Ms. Janice, is that it's in a lot of ways, it's a microcosm of the National Association. So a lot of the challenges that we deal with locally, we deal with on a national level, and membership is one of them, quite frankly. And so it's never like one single thing. It's just a series of small things. So to give an example, one of the things that I know has helped our chapter this past year, we're up membership wise, over 50%. And our past president, Wanda, is our membership chair.
Okay.
So
she's done that's a good move.
Yeah, she's done a very, very good job, because she's not afraid to pick up the phone, say, hey, look, dues are due.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it takes someone who's willing, or even if it's a group, to do that, to reach out individually to alums. And in a lot of ways, I mean, I'd say more often than not, it's I just forgot. I'll get him in tomorrow, or
Right.
We've been able to not only that, but expand our options of how you pay dues. So you're able to pay for them online, not just send a check. So it makes, from a convenient standpoint, you can do it through our website, the chapter website. And then on the flip side, they're really, we all know we're supposed to be active and supposed to give back and supposed
Absolutely.
to. But, once again, being transparent, there still has to be an exchange of value, right? So we've tried, and successfully, I would say, collectively, just being more visible in the activities that we're doing, not only just in Louisville, but things that we're doing at the university level. Another one of your sorors, Joanne James, she's our chapter ambassador. So that's a role that we created this year. And her job really is to represent the chapter, and what she does a tremendous job of doing.
Showing up with the cheerleader right there.
Right. So she was able to, she got word back in September that on campus, the students basically have a food pantry, and they can go, they send an email. It's called the Bread's Pantry, and they send an email to the coordinator, and they can go get whatever's in there anytime. I think they have certain hours, but so our chapter was the first to send a donation to the bread pantry. And now every chapter in the region sends and stocks food. It's food, it's snacks, feminine items, deodorants, like anything that you would think a college student may need, they can go get it. So, being more visible at the university level, like I said, and then just trying to do as much as we can with student support. We were able to complete this past, March 27th. We have an annual jar challenge. And so the essence of the jar challenge, it goes back.
What do you call it?
It's called a jar challenge.
Jar challenge. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So the jar challenge was created prior to myself being in office. But what we would normally do, and this kind of speaks to the point you made about COVID, the thing that COVID has done organizationally, it's forced you to do things differently, and you just got to figure it out. Right. And so ordinarily, and you may know about this, but in the during the holidays, we would normally have a chapter Christmas brunch. The Lucy Robert and Lucy Phillips brunch. Well, we weren't unable to have it, obviously, in 2020. And so what the committee did, they decided, because at that particular brunch, all of the students from Louisville who would attend would basically get cash. And it was money that was collected by our alumni chapter. And, we, however many came, we split it up and they'd get, cash money just for showing up. So it was just a gift, from the chapter to our students who were at the school from Louisville. And so what the committee did this year is they continue to raise money, but we were able to coordinate with the dean of students and invite all of the graduating seniors from Louisville to a reception. And we were able to give out some of that money there. So it's, just trying to full circle to your original question of, how to grow membership. It's several things. It's not really just one thing. It's engagement. It's, getting alums to see, okay, here's what your money's going to. Here's how our chapter is really helping students and helping the university.
Yeah, because I know there's one part where you all used to have a field day where you take the kids from Louisville up to school. Mm-hmm. Do you still do that?
We haven't done it. That is going to be on the late 2022 calendar.
Okay.
The university just opened up the school for visits last month.
Okay.
So they had we were on our spring region call a couple of weeks ago, and the administration, they had President Stamps was on there, and she was saying that the school's now open, so we can go through the Department of Admissions to schedule visits, just in campus tours like we used to. So that's going to be something we'll be able to do moving forward.
I want to volunteer to go with you all when you take students.
Great. Absolutely. Yeah, really absolutely.
Because there's nothing like a firsthand account of what it was like to be away from home, up on that hill. That was kind of like your first outing being an adult.
Absolutely.
I couldn't wait to get away from home.
Absolutely.
And I'm only 50 miles away.
Right.
I didn't go home on weekends. I went to somebody else's city.
Right.
The other friends that I was making. And my mother said, Are you coming home? I said, yeah, I'll be home Christmas.
Right. I'll be there. I know where it is.
She says, well, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going to Chicago. I'm going to Memphis, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. So it was so in order to give somebody the feeling of what that's like, mm-hmm. and what it's like to have teachers who see you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had some other conversations with people and finding out that it's still going on, that I had a counselor in high school who said to me that I needed to go get a vocation because I didn't do well on my SAT test.
Okay.
But that's because I thought it was 2 hours and not 4. So when I do 2 hours, I'm getting that.
You're right. I'm out.
They take a break. They say, we'll see you back in 30. What? see me back. Oh no,
Right,
I
right.
had something to do,
It doesn't fit
so
in
I
my
just went
schedule.
through it,
Mm-hmm.
So, but I had by chance won a scholarship.
Mm.
So I had to I said, well, I'm going to college anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
I said, and I have a scholarship to go and I'm going to Kentucky State. So how many counselors tell our children, that they're not college material,
Mm-hmm. It's
and so
unfortunate.
the whole education thing, I think the same thing that pushed I came in a baby boomer era
Okay.
of going to college. I wasn't the first in my family to go to college, but I was the first to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really important, especially our students here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
100%.
we
100%.
can show them, by being from here, going to school 50 miles away, and who we can become.
Yes. And it's far enough away and close enough.
Right.
And to
Right.
your point about just getting on campus, I think that probably every school has had that challenge, with COVID issues, but getting physically on a campus, and especially when school is in, you
Right.
see people, you get to see the cafeteria, you get the Greeks are on the yard, they're doing their thing. I mean, it's that
Right.
atmosphere. You can't replicate that
No,
in a
not at
video,
all.
or you can't do it.
Because I can run my freshman and sophomore year down to you like they were yesterday. The things and how the progression of going to school. Because see, I was in the grill playing cards. I was
Okay.
playing Dirty
We
Heart.
played in the student center. That's where our card
Well,
playing
well, that was kind
upstairs.
of our student center,
Okay. Okay.
but this was the old grill. It
Okay.
had nothing to do. The new building was there before we left.
Okay.
Now I came out with the class. I was in the class that was the last year for Kentucky State College.
College. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
But I learned how to study
Mm-hmm.
because somebody made a comment to me, said, JC, that was my nickname that I got while I was in school.
Okay.
JC said, watch out, don't be in that January clearance. I'm saying, well, I'm playing cards and hitting them up on my head and talking smack. And I said, well, what is January clearance? They said, well, if you don't pull a certain grade point average,
You're
you
not coming
cannot
back.
come back.
You're not coming back.
Look, I stopped in my tracks
Mm-hmm.
and I learned how to study. I studied in between my classes when I had a break and 2 hours after dinner. Because at 11 o'clock, when we had to be in the dorm, I wasn't trying to study. I was going to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
So
figured it out.
So you learn how to I learned how to do the things that I wanted to do, but also get on top of my studies.
Right.
Because I said, they're not gonna be talking about me saying, where's
Yeah.
JC? I said, here I am.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm in the
That's
house.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
so Kentucky State I see we've got some of our alumni that have signed on that went to Kentucky State, Miss Portia. That it's such a joyful, and everybody that was my friend then is my friend now.
Wow. It's amazing how that works.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it really, really is. And there's such a connectedness with everybody who went to school with you.
Right.
Right. There's just this common thread, and a lot of people who go to other schools, larger schools or PWIs, they don't get it. And you're talking about, when I was on the yard, there were 2,200 students, as a stretch, maybe.
Yeah.
So you do get to know everybody.
Right.
Right.
And when we went, they had one year that the state opened up. They gave a discount for out-of-state students. Okay. So you weren't just from Louisville. We had DC, Chicago, Detroit, New York, New Jersey, Florida. And I'm saying, well, I can just go home with them.
Right.
You know, it was very diverse in that people from all over the country went to
Mm-hmm.
that school, came to that school.
Yeah. And you probably say similar with me, most likely. You know, I didn't know anybody from Texas. I didn't know anybody from Memphis or Florida. And you meet them at school, like, oh, like you said, I'm going home with so and so for the weekend, or
Right.
vice versa. Somebody's coming home with me.
Right.
You know, so just being able to broaden past here,
Right.
and see and I think that's probably the bigger picture that you alluded to with students, is getting them to see there's something bigger out there.
Right.
You know, it's
Right.
not just where we are right here. Right here's okay, but there's so much more out there, and this is an opportunity to get there.
Well, Barry, what are some of the things that you are looking forward to that you know, as we build the membership,
Mm-hmm.
that we need to do in order to get more students like from Louisville, or I mean, we've got from the state of Kentucky, just
Mm-hmm.
to go to Kentucky State rather than go to Western or UK.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things some ideas that you might have about things that you want to do that we can do, that we can help you do?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think one of the I would start with having, well, from the school level, you know, there has to be a cohesiveness with what's going on at the university with what we're promoting. And what I mean by that is, we have the business department just got an additional 10-year accreditation. They got a renewed for that, right?
Okay.
So the Department of Business. You know, we're still waiting on some more money from the state to help with the nursing program, but the nursing program is a foundational program.
Absolutely.
And so I give examples of those because those are things, unfortunately, you know, that aren't necessarily promoted, right?
Okay. Right.
So if we're able to, at the local level, be able to at least promote, hey, these are the strong academic programs. There's a business MBA that Kentucky State has, you know, so which is an online course, and so the different promoting
that.
Hey,
down because I've always wanted my MBA.
Yeah, and you know, it's a 3-year, I think it's a 3-year program.
Okay.
But the narrative, unfortunately, has been that it's not an up to snuff academic institution, and that is just not the case.
No.
You know, that's the overriding perception that has been spread. And I think starting with that first, so getting that information in the hands of counselors that are providing a lot of that direction. They may not even know, and my wife's a counselor. She's a high school counselor. So we've talked about this, you know, they may not know, okay, well, there's a particular program that Kentucky State offers that well, I have students who are interested in this. They could go that direction. So I think it starts with just battling that narrative of the academic. It's part of the school.
So let me ask you this. So if when school starts
Mm-hmm.
and the counselors meet, is there a way that we can become a part of their agenda as far as giving us a presence, giving Kentucky State a presence with the council, so they have no excuse not to promote going to a state school and include Kentucky State when they use Western or UK or even Simmons. Now, Simmons got a program that's kind of hard to beat right now.
The teacher program,
the free tuition.
Oh yeah, free tuition. Yeah, free tuition with JTPS.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
wonderful.
It is wonderful.
It's wonderful. Because all we want to do is
school is school.
School is we just want to go to school. Go somewhere, you know, but
go to school.
But you're gonna get out the house and you're gonna go get some more education because the diploma is not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
And so I wrote that down. You're writing down over there. I'm writing down on my end.
Okay.
And I do think, coupled with that, Ms. Janice, is also, I think now with the kind of the uncertainty that has been going on with the school, and is it staying open, is it closing, is, you know, we're past that. So it's
I was gonna say, I need you to speak to that.
it's you know, we were awarded the money, so we got the money.
Okay, so this is the money from
yes. So I wrote no. So the COVID money, and I think this is so the COVID money or CARES money.
CARES. Okay, right.
That's reported after the distribution. So they got the CARES money. Okay. School got the CARES money. So when those reports came out, that was funding that had already taken place.
Okay.
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 The House bill that was going through the legislature, which was House Bill 250, what that asked for was $23 million to keep the doors open.
Okay.
And we needed that money ASAP because we weren't going to stay open past June 1 of 2022 had we not gotten that money. So that's to that degree. And so I'll back up a second and just put a caveat out there. Everything that I'm going to speak on in regards to the House bill is already done deal. Senator Gerald Neal and Senator Reginald Thomas out of Lexington, and several Rep Graham in Frankfurt, Brother Brown, who's the African American or Black Caucus, head of the Black Caucus. I mean, these were all legislatures who worked tirelessly to help navigate and speak to the legislature in general about this bill. Okay. Our National Alumni Association President Richard Graves also was very integral in communicating everything that was going on. So as it stands right now, the legislature, once the governor signs it, and he may have already signed it, I'm not sure about that. I think he did. Got us the $23 million to keep the doors open and to move forward. We were also allotted another $15 million. And that was asked for growth. You know, it's kind of like, hey, we can come to 0.0 because that's where the 23 million got us at, really 0.0. But how are you going to function at that point? So the legislature did approve another 15 million. Okay. Now that 5 million, it's going to be given in installments. So we get 5 million this year. And then next year, 10 million. So there's the 15. Now with everything comes with some with some strings, right? Yes. And so ostensibly, 30,000 foot view, the legislature will not allow for or install a president until 2023. So there will be an interim, and the Board of Regents will essentially work with the Council on Post-Secondary Education to make sure all these benchmarks are met. Okay. They check in. There's a 3-month check-in. There's a 1-year check-in. There's a kind of a 3-year check-in, if you will. Okay. So there's checks and balances along the way. Okay. And so, long story short, the bill itself, granted us what we asked for. There's going to be a lot of checks and balances, which is not bad. And I'm not saying it is. But, the Council on Post-Secondary Education pretty much has, the carte blanche to provide what they're seeing. Okay. And so, how that all kind of goes full circle now that we know, okay, that the school is going to be solvent and we're going to be in a good position. We can now go out and market. Okay. We can now, it makes it a little bit easier to go to a counselor and say, right, hey, think about Kentucky State. When you have a sales pitch, you're standing behind your sales. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be twisted in any kind of way. Right. It's straight, no chaser. Straight, no chaser. We're good. Doors are open. Forward.
We need
Let's
the
go.
students to come.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
And to that point, enrollment is up
Okay.
over the year over year for the past 3 years. So
Oh,
enrollment
that's
up.
wonderful.
There are 170 candidates for commencement that are coming that will be May 13th, and 13 dual credit students, which those students are the ones that are still in high school. They will have their associate's degree.
Okay.
And so, and they're from Franklin County, Jefferson, Muhlenberg. I mean, they're all over the state. So the
We need to do a statewide tour. We need to get on the bus.
just,
We need to get that band bus because the Kentucky State got a bad
they,
bus.
yes, they do. Yes, they do. And it'll
And
be
we
at that
need to
band.
go and spend a day in Paducah and Owensboro and Lexington. And where else do we need to go? And we got a whole lot of little bitty cities, maybe northern, not northern, eastern, almost Appalachia,
Yeah.
eastern Kentucky, that we go and fellowship with them,
Mm-hmm.
with the students from those schools in those areas. That might be something we can work up.
To have that presence. So
Yeah,
that's one of to your question. How to grow even
yeah.
beyond. That's one one significant component of it. And so we'll see. But the chapter itself, in terms of Louisville, having that, because the last number I saw, Louisville has the most KSU alumni in the country,
Right.
which makes sense.
Which
Makes total sense.
you think
Right?
so? Yeah.
You think so? So our challenge is, corralling all the folks.
We need
All
to
the folks in
represent that.
Louisville, all the folks in Louisville. So
Yeah.
we're that's what we're steadfastly working on, is getting that presence out, continuing to get that presence out locally, so we can grow our numbers here.
So all of your meetings are still on Zoom?
As of right now, we are we're going to get through. We have our I'll plug this. We have our annual Derby Scholarship Gala. We're going to be in person this year. We have been in person for 2 years now. So it's going to be May the 5th. And I'll send you the information. I'll email you the flyer. But it's May the 5th. So the Thursday before Derby has been our traditional gala night. So we're going to have that. So once we kind of get through that, we're going to discuss the in-person meeting. But it'll be a hybrid. I know we're going to have both. I know we're going to be able to do in-person and also run the Zoom simultaneously. So
okay, now you're gonna have to go back to the Derby Scholarship Fund because it's Derby time.
Okay. We can go
I'm
back
getting
there.
ready to make a banner and put it up. Okay. So on what date is it?
It's May the 5th.
May the 5th. And where's it gonna be?
It's going to be at the Sawyer Hayes Center. The Sawyer Hayes Center. It's the center at EP Tom Sawyer Park. They have an event space inside EP Tom Sawyer Park. So it's called the Sawyer Hayes Event Center. And it's a 2401 Lakeland Road. I think it's 2401 Lakeland Road. And so it is going to be a sneaker ball. So we're doing a after 5 with sneakers.
Did somebody else tell me about some kind of sneaker ball? This is the second time I've heard that.
Well, ironically, and it wasn't on purpose, but I believe that the Derby Festival is having a sneaker ball on the same night. Okay. And we actually launched our flyers the same day. So it made it totally confusing. But yes, so ours is from 7. Well, the doors open at 6:30 to midnight. So it's not a all night. You can catch another event after you leave the sneaker ball. So it's going to be it's a $70 ticket. It includes dinner and includes 2 complimentary drink tickets. We have a signature sponsor. Brown Foreman is one of our title sponsors. So We will have several of their products be available for service. So we're looking forward to it. It's a thank you so much. We're looking forward to it. It's like I said,
Tell
it's
me
been
I'm not taking
yeah, I'm impressed. I'm gonna send you just a whole list of stuff you need to throw out there. It
Look,
was just that
it's
easy.
taken me all of a year and a half to get to this.
But you there. That's all that matters. You
Yeah.
were here. You were here.
Yeah.
So that's our derby event. So all the proceeds go back into our scholarship fund. So we were able to this past year we gave out $1,000 scholarships
Okay.
to Louisville students.
Okay.
And so we've got our application period closed for this upcoming year at the end of March. We have several candidates that are have applied. So that's what it goes for.
Okay.
That's what it goes for.
So what's the local dues?
The local dues are $35.
Okay.
$35 annually. Dues period starts July 1.
Okay.
Dues period runs July 1 to June 30th.
June 30th.
So it aligns with the national dues paying period. So it's not a true a true calendar.
Okay.
Like, so but it's July 1 through June 30th, and then
it's almost like a fiscal year, more so than
exactly. It's a fiscal year,
calendar year.
and then national dues are 50. National Alumni Association dues are 50. So national.
I did send in my national dues.
Yeah, national dues are 50.
I got busy.
For 35.
After I was in touch with you, I said, "Oh Lord, I
Did you get
busy?"
And life memberships, I will say this real briefly on life memberships. Life memberships are $500. They will be $500 at least, we know, until January 2023. They probably will go up. Okay. But as of right now, they're $500. So that's for life memberships. Okay. And I think that covers dues. Wanda would be proud.
Yes. Okay, so now I've got the memberships. That's what I wanted to know. Okay, and we've got the Derby festivities, the Derby scholarship.
Yes, ma'am.
Sneaker ball.
Oh,
I love that. And because I'm not far from there, so I have no excuse. I didn't want to be in the traffic. You call me and say, "What's up with you?"
It's a nice space. It's a nice space. It's going to be a nice time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I will make my commitment. I will tell you, and I know Sister Joanne James is probably somewhere listening and say, because she'll call me and say, "I heard what you said."
She's gonna call you.
I heard what you said.
You know she
I
is.
expect you to be there.
And then she's gonna call me and say, "I called Janice."
Yes, and I told her she better show up. Yeah, I'll show up. But the one reason that you and I first, one of the other reasons that you and I were in touch is that, and you were the one that notified me about Brother Bruce. That was so heartbreaking to me. And did you see the clip I sent you for the services?
I did. No, I haven't looked at that clip. I saw the clip of your last interview.
Oh, my interview with him.
Yes. And I know that you all were friends, and my condolences to not only obviously his family, but to you, because I know you were working hard to try to get that event going.
Yeah. Because I was so proud of him, and he was so excited. He's coming home.
I know.
And then, God had some other plans.
He had
some other plans. But I want to thank you for even entertaining, being of assistance to me in that effort.
Absolutely. I wish, even though it's not going to happen, but I wish that it had gotten even further.
We're still going to do something. I've been in touch with his family.
Nice.
I've been in touch with his family because I have since received Senator Neal. I have been in touch with his office to get a resolution, a proclamation.
Okay.
And an honorary Kentucky Colonel certificate.
Great. Nice.
And so they've come.
Oh, that's excellent.
So
Oh, that's
I've
excellent.
spoken to one of Bruce's daughters, and I said I didn't want to do anything now without
Mhm.
the family being involved.
Right, right.
So I'm gonna, they've got some time. I said I'm not in a rush. The
Mhm.
book is out. I said maybe the publisher can get involved, which would be a really nice thing.
Mhm.
And then maybe it's something that I can really do around KSU.
KSU. Well, you let us know. We'll have a proclamation from the
Okay.
chapter.
Okay.
That is not an issue at all. You just let me know when you need it, and we'll have it for you.
And I just want to tell you, if you need me to go up to school and do something or represent sometimes because maybe you can't make it, a Sorah James can't make it, a Sorah Wanda can't make it.
I sure will.
Just feel free that you can call me.
I sure will, and I appreciate that because I will.
Because
I will.
Listen, because you will, huh?
Because I will.
Because I'm ready to get involved. I was my mother's caregiver, and she passed 2 years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I've taken my time, and then COVID intervenes.
Mm-hmm.
And now, so we're trying to kind of break out away from that and get back to some normalcy, because I think this is going to be something that's going to be around for a while.
I believe so.
It's going to be like the flu.
Mm-hmm. I believe so too. But
So,
getting to that kind of back to some sense of normalcy, the routine has to begin back again.
Yeah.
It really does.
So, but I wanna say once again, congratulations on your presidency, and I thank you for coming on the show, because sometimes it's information that we need,
Yes, ma'am.
and that's what I've been trying to do, is share information with. I know Miss Portia. Oh, okay. So we've got an alumni in Cleveland that's been trying to tell me what to talk about.
Okay.
And then we've got Andy Williams. Well, Andy was from New Jersey, but I think he lives somewhere in the Carolinas now. So they've been engaged with us.
Nice. Now, is Miss Portia, is she in Cleveland?
She's in Cleveland. She left Louisville. She was living in Louisville.
She's my wife, Soror.
Okay.
I know Miss Portia.
Miss Portia was on here
hello, Miss Portia.
3, 4 times. She said, that is great, JC. Thank you,
Yes,
Portia,
ma'am.
so much.
She had the new grandbaby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, honey. That grandbaby. I see pictures of the grandbaby on a daily basis. Just as cute as a button. And I used to tell people, they said, tell me I was cute as a button. I said, well, how cute is a button? But anyway, Barry, I thank you for coming on. I look forward to meeting your wife.
Yes,
seeing
ma'am.
you in person.
Absolutely.
I will be, myself and Pastor Miller will be there on May 5th. Well, if Pastor Miller doesn't come, I will be there.
We'll be
to
delighted
see all my alumni and just fellowship with you all.
That's what it's about.
Because we're missing that.
We miss each other.
We're used to that.
It is.
One big family reunion.
It is. And you don't really appreciate it as much until it doesn't happen.
Yeah, when you can't have it. We haven't had my own family reunion for 2 years, and we started getting like the uppity.
Antsy.
I don't know. If y'all not gonna meet this year, I'm going somewhere to see somebody. So
somebody.
we're gonna do that this year.
That is great. That is great. Well, on your end, you need anything, you got my number, and let me know when you need the proclamation. You need the items for his event.
Okay.
We'll definitely be able to provide.
And like you said, I will call you.
Call you.
I will get on your schedule, because you got a schedule. What can you say, huh?
Wait.
Have a blessed day. It's dinner time. Go have your dinner. I'll talk to you.
Have a blessed one yourself. It's a pleasure seeing you.
All right, darling. Bon appetit.
Right. Yes, ma'am. Thanks, alums.
Ciao. All right. President Barry Johnson, Kentucky State Alumni Chapter President for the Louisville Chapter. He gave us a lot of information. And while I'm here, I'm going to say to all my alumni, we need to get back on point. We need to become active. If you can't be active, you still need to send your dues, because we need to support our school. We need to support our school and share the experiences that we had going to Kentucky State. I've never talked to anybody who had a bad experience going to Kentucky State. You know, and I was supposed to go to Tennessee A&I because I thought I was going to be a Tiger Bear till somebody smoked me in the Mason and Dixon games. So that went out the window. But I am truly glad that I'm a thoroughbred, proud thoroughbred. I'm truly proud to have pledged Alpha Pi. Hey, up on the hill. So it's dinner time. Go have your dinner. I hope you enjoyed the show. Bon appetit. And I will see you. This will run again on Friday. Okay? This will run again on Friday. I learned my lesson. I thought I could do 3 and 4 shows a week. That ain't happening. So, good evening. Okay.